Hello everyone and welcome to the first section of this course. Since this is a full stack course, we'll begin right away and set up a very simple full stack app. We'll have a very basic React front end that will display hello world, and this hello world string is going to come from a very basic Express server. So let's start by going in an empty directory and then creating two new folders, a client folder and a server folder. The client folder will hold the contents of our create React app command, and the server will hold our Express server. So let's just open a git bash terminal in our client directory and then just run the npx create React app command. And just so our project is not too nested, we can cut and paste the contents in the app1 directory back into the root folder. Next, we can open another terminal in the server directory and then run the express command. And we're able to run this express command because we already installed the express generator CLI command line tool. If you don't have that command line tool installed, see the associated section in the intro module. And if we look now in the server directory, we can see that Express did give us a fully functioning setup Express app. And by fully functioning, I really mean that it's standalone. You can run this Express app just by itself without a React front end at all. For the sake of simplicity, let's delete some unnecessary folders in our server directory. So first we can delete the routes folder. We'll use the routes later in more complex setups, but for now we don't need any routes. We also don't need the public folder, which just holds static assets, such as CSS and images and things like that. And since we're going to be using React as our front end, we don't need anything in the views folder either. But to have some structure in our server directory, let's create a new folder called main, and we can put our app.js file inside this new folder. Now in our app.js file, we can go in and delete this function right before the module.export statement. And again, we're just going for simple, so we don't need this function, and we'll set up more complex error handling in later sections. And since we don't have a routes folder anymore either, we can delete these two functions right here that make use of index router and users router. Next, we can go in our www file in the bin folder, and here let's change the port from 3000 to 5000. And again, this is because our React frontend is going to run on port 3000. And again, remember these are two fully functioning apps, the React frontend and the Express server. So they'll be both running at the same time. And of course, because of that, they can't both run on the same port in localhost. And then also remember to change the import statement to /main/app, since that's where our app.js file is now located. So we're now done with the www file. Let's go in our package.json and then add a script for NodeMon. So we can just go right under start under scripts and just add dev start. And then we can do nodemon./bin/www. And NodeMon is really just a development version of Node. So you can essentially save and do development while NodeMon is running, and you can't do that with just Node. And remember to also install NodeMon if you haven't done so. It was one of the prerequisites in the intro module, so if you need to learn how to install it, just see that section in the intro module. And of course, if you don't want to install and use NodeMon, you can also just use Node. Either way is fine. And important to note that by adding devstart under scripts, we can run our server by using npm run devstart as opposed to npm run start, which will use Node. So we're using NodeMon instead of Node. And again, this is only for development. In our actual hosting server, we would actually use npm run start to use Node instead.